Hey guys, so I wanted to come and share with you guys some of the lock mistakes that I made in my journey that I feel like contributed to me wanting to cut my hair. I don't want to say 5 things that caused me to cut my locks because I feel like any lock mistake that you made can be reversed. You know, hair is constantly growing, but these are 5 things that definitely made it easier for me to make the decision to end my lock. If you would like to know the 5 lock mistakes that I made in my journey so that you cannot make the same mistake, or so that you can stop doing these things if you are, please keep watching. Okay, so the first mistake I feel like I made is definitely product buildup. And I know everybody says this, but for me, like, I didn't realize it until later. I was stressed about adding moisture to my hair. And then on the outsides of my hair, like, I would use a lot of different type of edge controls that I feel like now that I'm like a loose natural, it's okay. But when I had locks in my hair, like, those edge controls used to get caught up and stuck inside the perimeter of my hair. It was like a lot of like buildup, you know, on the outsides. I feel like that also added to why my hair was very heavy, because like I just had so much products in it, and then, you know, when you have locks, it's hard to wash it out. And I feel like if you're going to add oil to your hair, it should really only be at the root, the loose ends, and then maybe just gently, you know, glide some oil down the length of it. So my second mistake, oh my gosh, was definitely coloring. Now, I always say this: whatever hair type you have before you get locks, you know, whether you have a perm, loose natural hair, whatever it is, you're gonna still have that same hair type when you lock your hair up. So I knew before I even had locks that, you know, color wasn't for me. I remember putting like some type of gold, you know, thought I was cute, some gold dye in my hair in like high school, and my hair like broke off like terribly. Like, I had no hair after that. But for some reason I felt like after I got locks, all of a sudden it was okay for me to dye my hair different colors. And even though it didn't break off in a sense of complete locks falling off, the texture of the hair was very dry, which is probably why it was harder to keep moisturized, thinning out, you know, just not as full as it should be. So I would pay attention to that too. If you know you have the type of hair that you can color it all day and night and it never affects you, okay, maybe, but most of us don't have hair like that. So I'll be very wise if you are going to color your hair. Just choose your colors wisely, meaning choose something that you're going to like for a long time, so you don't have to feel like you keep coloring it to achieve a new look. So my mistake number 3 is buns. Honey, I used to love slicking my hair up. I used to do just like this when I had my locks. My bun was tight like this, tight. Like, I loved bun. Not only is it going to add tension around the perimeter of your hair, putting it in a bun and ponytail, but it's also going to add tension around where your hair, and this is fake of course, but where your hair is, where the ponytail holder is. So I noticed when I was doing a lot of buns or ponytails, one, my hair was thinning and pushing back around the edges, but in addition to that, I would notice that there would be like pieces of a breakage in my locks, and I'd be like, why is it this piece? Why is it this piece? And every piece was kind of similar in the same area of breakage. It was because of the buns, the tight updo styles, rubber bands in general being tied too tight on my locks or for too long. Okay, so I would just get used to, you know, the longer your hair gets, get used to it being out and in your face, because tying it down too much is just gonna break it off. But number 4 was not knowing how to deal with postpartum hair loss. So after I had my daughter, I heard people talking about postpartum hair loss, but because I had locks, I knew that my hair was locked together and strong, so it wasn't like I was going to experience, you know, major shedding. But postpartum hair loss affected me in a different way. It affected me at the root. So because my hair wasn't shedding like along the length, I thought that I was okay, and it took me a while to notice that my hair was shedding from like the new growth, Once again, it was shedding around the perimeter, and me wearing the buns on top of that postpartum hair loss didn't help it. So it's almost nothing you can do about postpartum hair loss. Either it happens or it doesn't. It's just part of, childbirth and being a mom, and it's worth it. But you can affect how you take care of your hair during that process, and I was not taking care of my hair the way that I should have been during that process of postpartum hair loss. My last thing, or my last lock mistake that I say that I would made, starts at the beginning of my lock journey, and that was me actually not having a plan or a parting system for my hair. And I know some people think, it's not that serious, locks are supposed to be free, and I do feel the same way. I didn't, my problem wasn't the fact that my hair or my locks were different sizes. It was the fact that I was in love with thick locks. Like, I wanted thick locks. The thicker, the better. I wanted less locks. And I became obsessed with that thought to the point that by the time I was about to cut my hair, like, I would have 2 strand twists all throughout my hair. Like, even the whole front 2 rows of my hair, I had them in 2 strand twists, ready to combine them. And I was like, this is ridiculous. This is going to take forever. Like, if I would have just knew ahead of time the type of locks that I wanted, I would, I could be able to avoid that. So I do know that in my life I am going to have locks again. I don't know when. But when I do, this time around, I'm going to make sure that I make them thick to begin with, because, that way I don't have to worry about, like, combining and wishing my hair looked different and things like that. All in all, I think that any lock journey is beautiful. I think that every lock journey, no matter the mistakes, can be corrected. But it's so much information out there that you don't have to make mistakes that other people made. So take my advice. I would love to hear you all's comments below. What are your lock mistakes or your hair mistakes in general, especially if you're a natural, loose natural hair girl. That's what I am now, so I would love to hear those mistakes too. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video.